I'm Anil Kumar sharing with you a very popular question on functions. It has been taken from final test paper. Let f of x equals to square root of 2x plus 1 minus 3. Determine the domain and range of f and its inverse, right? So let's begin with the function f of x, which is equals to square root of 2x plus 1 minus 3. Now, how do you find domain of this function? As far as the domain is concerned, we know within square root, 2x plus 1 which we have should be greater than or equal to 0. That gives you 2x is greater than or equals to minus 1, x is greater than or equals to minus half, right? So we have the domain for the function, and that is, we can write here, domain is x belongs to real numbers, so that x is greater than or equals to minus half, correct? Now let's work on the range of this function. Okay, for range, we'll calculate few values and try to sketch it also. Sometimes you may have to sketch the function. This is a video to help you understand the concept, so we can always extend, okay? So it's a good idea to start with finding the value of this function at minus half. So what is the value of function at minus half? If I substitute minus half, I get 0 here, and that gives me minus 3. So let's say this is minus half for us, right? And we get a value here, which is minus 3. So that becomes a point. If x is 0, let's say f of 0 is how much? We get 1 minus 3, which is minus 2. So at 0, we expect a value to be minus 2. Right? Now, that's one thing. We can also find when is this value 0, that is to say, that within the square root part, we should get 3. 3 minus 3 is 0, is it okay? So if I equate square root 2x plus 1 to 3, because then we get the x-intercept. So we are trying to find x-intercept. Okay. Well, all these steps are not really required. The function is rising. The function is kind of like this. So the range is, we already have the lowest value, greater than this. But okay, let me just complete the question first. From here, we know range is y belongs to real numbers, where y is greater than or equal to minus 3, right? That's very clear anyway. Since the function is always increasing and the lowest value is minus 3. Perfect. Now, but we'll just continue for the sake of interest. There could be a possibility of looking into that also, right? Sometimes. Okay. If I square both sides, we get 2x plus 1 equals to 9. So 2x equals to 9 minus 1, which is 8. And x is equals to 8 divided by 2, which is 4. So what we have here is a graph of the function, which is kind of going like this, where this point is 4. Is it okay? Now clearly, you can write down the domain and the range, which is given here for f of x. Now tell me, if that is the domain and range, what is the domain and range for f inverse? What is the domain range of f inverse? Now, the domain and range actually flips. Very simple. And therefore, without doing any other calculations, we can say the domain for inverse of the function is x belongs to real numbers, where x is greater than or equal to minus 3. Do you see that? Minus 3. And the range for the function should be y belongs to real numbers, where y is greater than or equals to minus half. Do you get it? So that is how you can flip domain and range and write down domain and range for inverse of a function, right? Do you understand? So this is for inverse function. So I hope with this you understand how quickly we can actually get to domain and range of a given square root function. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe and post comments. Thank you and all the best.